Hi, Ebonies, and welcome back to the Ebony Collective. So, in this video, I want to talk about how you can actually become her. So, I'm going to be giving you 10 powerful tips to become her. So, that's going to be the best version of yourself. You're going to be confident, admired, and unstoppable. So, let's get right into it. So, the first one is you need to start owning your identity. So, what does that mean? So basically, you need to be unapologetically yourself. And I know that sounds very easy, and you're probably sitting here thinking, well, I do that anyways. But trust me, there's so many of us that are not actually our true, authentic self. So we put on a facade, we put on a pretense around certain people or even around everyone. And really, our true, authentic self is probably when we're by ourselves. But you need to start honing in and tapping into that version of yourself, even when you're around other people and even when you have company. So be unapologetically yourself. So know yourself, know your values, know your strengths and your weaknesses. So this is about really tapping in and identifying who you are, your personality, having some type of self-awareness, which is going to be the foundation to your confidence. And there's nothing wrong with, identifying what your strengths are as well as your weaknesses. You need to be able to and be comfortable identifying both. And I know sometimes we'll probably have a long list of one or the other, but try to get an even list of your strengths and your weaknesses, because this is about tapping into where your strengths are, tapping into the weaknesses and seeing how you can shift those weaknesses and turn them into bettering yourself. So my first tip for becoming her is definitely to own your identity, tap into yourself, get to know who you are, what type of personality do you have, and be okay with that. We're not trying to force you to become anybody that you're not comfortable being, but it's just really setting the foundation, setting that confidence level of tapping in and getting to know who you are. Okay, so number 2, set boundaries like a queen. Ladies, you are queens. I want to say that first and foremost, you definitely are queens. So you need to be able to say no to things when you need to. You need to be able to respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that doesn't serve your peace or even your purpose. Now, that is a really, really strong one, because for a lot of people, setting boundaries can be so hard. But trust me when I say this, you will feel so much better when you're able to get into the habit of setting boundaries, whether it's with your friends, whether it's with your colleagues, whether it's with even your partner and in your relationship. People respect people when you do set boundaries. And I've noticed that myself. If you're just the type of person that just goes along with everything and, to the point where you might even burn yourself out, or sometimes you're just that type of person that says yes, 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 people take advantage of that and they don't necessarily respect you even more for saying yes and being a yes woman. So you need to get comfortable with setting boundaries and also remind yourself of why you're setting these boundaries, and that, after you set those boundaries, if someone's invited you out and you can't make it because you've got other plans or you're tired or you just want to rest, that's okay. Like, remind yourself that it's okay to take time away from things. It's okay to not have to turn up and show up and be readily available at every single event and function. It is okay. You need your me time as well. And that is part of becoming you. You need your rest time. You need your downtime. Sometimes you might not just be in the mood to be around people. And again, that is okay. Not everybody deserves our energy. So by setting boundaries, you're setting it as a queen. You're reminding yourself that you are a queen, and you're setting appropriate boundaries. Like, we don't want to go overboard with it, but it's really important because people out here will be testing you, will be trying you. They'll invite you out and then you end up getting into a situation and you think to yourself, why did I even bother coming out? I would have been better off at home watching TV, watching a film, chilling. So setting boundaries is a good thing, definitely. And it probably will save you from some really, really bad situations that you wouldn't even have known of. But you won't know that until you go out and you get in a situation. So set boundaries and set boundaries like a queen. Okay, 3, invest in your appearance. Again, another biggie. So dress for the woman you aspire to be. Grooming and style are not shallow things to do. Yeah? Remember that. They are not shallow, no matter how much people try to put that and feed that into your mind that, taking care of yourself is such a bad thing, and being into your looks and, being hygienic and clean and being well groomed is suddenly a bad thing. No, it's not. Being well groomed is a good thing. Um, you know, Grooming and style, they're not shallow. They're just tools of your self-expression. See it as this. They're tools of your self-expression, and they're tools to enhance your confidence. So we want you to be queens. We want you to be confident queens. I want you to be confident queens. So that does mean that you need to invest in your appearance, and it's not to go overboard. I know that times are difficult at the moment for a lot of people, but invest in yourself, get your nails done if you're into that. Change the color regularly, get your hair done, keep your hair clean, keep your skin clean, moisturize. Treat yourself to a facial, a massage, self-care here. We're talking about self-care practices. And these practices are really, really important, and they enhance your confidence. I can tell you for a fact that the period that I was in a few years ago where I didn't really keep up with my self-care routine that I had done years before that, I felt different. I could feel the difference within myself, even though I wasn't even going out and people wasn't even seeing me in my kind of draggedy phase. I could feel the difference within myself, and that says a lot. So if I could feel the difference in myself, people would definitely notice if you're keeping up your appearances, if you're keeping up your grooming, your hygiene. Treat yourself. If you've got the money to, you don't have to go overboard, but buy that top, buy that dress, or treat yourself to your pedicure, your manicures, whatever it is that is going to enhance your confidence is key. And I'm going to talk a bit more about this in my other video that I'm going to discuss, and that's going to be about looks maxing, because that is a hot topic at the moment, and I really want to just focus solely on why looks maxing is really important to your glow up. But in terms of becoming her, you need to invest in your appearance. That is key. However cheap you try to do it, whether you can do it naturally, in terms of like natural products, fine. If that's comfortable for you, if you're happy with that, if that's I'm the type of person, I am into natural skincare products. I think it's better for my skin. But yeah, I'm going to take it to the max with that. I'm back on my routine, my hair routine, nail routine. I'm back on it, and I can definitely be a person to attest to say that I am definitely more confident, and I feel like I even get more attention, and not just from men, but generally, and people can sense that confidence. People can feel it. Okay, so number 4, level up mentally and emotionally. So read, learn, reflect, heal your wounds, evolve. A strong mindset is your most attractive trait. So this kind of ties into probably why you're even listening to my video in the first place, because you are on your journey of glowing up and of leveling up. So that's the reason why you're here. So just make sure you make it a daily practice. On my journey of glowing up, I listen to YouTube videos every single day. I listen to podcasts, whether I'm washing up, whether I'm in my car, I will put that on because I want to be fed positive information. I want to be fed information about how I can make myself a better woman. So these are daily things that you can incorporate into your routine. You don't have to make it a thing where you're taking time away from other things. Like I said, I do it when I listen to podcasts and videos, when I'm washing up, when I'm doing my hair, my makeup, do this, incorporate it as part of your routine. And healing is extremely important. And that is why I've even created a whole mini guide course on healing alone, because it's so, so, so important. And again, if you're interested in that, that is in the description below. But yeah, healing those wounds, tapping into your inner child, shadow work is really important, because once you've released those blocks, you're going to flourish, you're going to shine, and you'll be able to move forward, and you're going to attract better people as well into your life. And number 5, speak with purpose. So communicate clearly and assertively, like be confident. Do not shrink yourself to fit into spaces. Take up the room with your words. So a lot of people do this. I think that kind of ties into owning your identity, but it's just about speaking confidently. Be confident in what you're saying. Be confident around other people. Remember that other people are probably just as insecure and having self-doubt talks going on whilst they're conversing with you. So be that confident person in the room, and you'll see that people will navigate naturally to you. Number 6, practice unshakable self-respect. Never settle, whether it's relationships, jobs, or friendships. Know your worth and demand it in action, not just words. So this taps into my video on while you're healing, don't settle. And your healing journey means that you shouldn't settle. Once you've done all of that work and invested all of that time and effort and work into healing, you should be so put off by settling for crumbs and bums and crummy situations. That should really, really put you off from even going back to people who have not met you at your new level. So my motto is, if you have not leveled up yourself, if you have not done the healing work yourself, then you have not met me on the level that I'm at now, which means that you cannot be in my life. So definitely do not settle. And like I said, that's in relationships, jobs, and even friendships. Know your worth, Ebonies, and demand that people show you that, not just by their words, but demand that they show you that by their behaviors and their actions. Okay, 7, stay mysterious and magnetic. So this one is quite good as well, actually. You don't owe anyone full access to your thoughts or your life, and you need to hold something sacred. So we're not talking about being very secretive and overly paranoid and overly secretive, but just know that there's times of hibernation, and those are the times where you're putting in the work to develop yourself and to grow, and you don't need to tell everybody everything. And sometimes by sharing things with other people, you end up giving them part of your destiny, because I've had it in the past where I've told people things and goals that I want to do, and they have literally gone and done the same thing, and then that has made me lose motivation to pursue what I want to do. So sometimes it's just like, don't have, what's the word, lapsed lips. Don't speak about things too much. Stay mysterious, be a bit magnetic. Again, people are going to be interested to know what you're doing, but you're doing this for a reason. So yeah, stay mysterious and magnetic. Number 8, walk with intent and purpose. Enter a room like you belong there. Good posture, good eye contact, and a calm demeanor speak volumes. So I'm going to say that again. Enter a room like you belong there. Good posture, eye contact, and a calm demeanor speaks volumes. That speaks confident. That speaks confidence. That speaks you are balanced. People again will be drawn to you. So walk with intent and presence and purpose. Number 9, surround yourself with empowerment. So build a circle that uplifts and challenges you. Energy is contagious. Protect yours fiercely. So again, that's just around associating with people who are on the same level as you. Associate with people who are vibrating at the same energy as you. I will not settle for people who are low vibration. And that's not to say they're bad people. It's just that I know what I can accept. So I will not accept that. Number 10, act before you feel ready. Confidence is built through action. Step into opportunities before you feel 100% prepared. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. Okay, so act before you feel ready. And this kind of hones into, I'm going to talk about my business. So a lot of people try to start things when it's perfect. And one thing I have learned is that there's never going to be a perfect time. So sometimes you just have to take messy action. And by taking messy action, you are actually taking action. So it might not be perfect, but at least it's moving you forward. So sometimes you need to really think that by becoming heard, you're acting before you feel ready.